Wagwan me people, quick thing before we kick off. The views where you hear upon the Father to Father podcast, them strictly for why, the hosts, guests and contributors. Them now represent Catholic Notebook, Spirit Stream Studios, the Diocese, University, or any affiliated groups. You see me? And remember, this podcast are strictly for adult ears, so listen up with discretion.
Welcome to Father, where life and faith meet. A place for the soul, where wisdom speaks. Hope in the message, strength in the beat. Welcome to Father, where life and faith meet.
You know, I'm tired. Like, I'm really tired this week.
I mean, at first I was afraid. I was petrified. I spent so many nights.
Stop. Because if you go any further than that,
$30,000.
that no is like $2 million. Like, I can't, dog. Like, I can't be out here being like trying to explain the legal why I let you just go that far. Do you understand how many things I have to keep in my mind while we're doing this show? Like, yeah, you can't say this, you can't say this, you can't say this, you can't sing these songs, you can't sing. Well, you can sing that song, but you can't sing it in the tone that the song came in.
I live that way every day, but not with music, with my intrusive thoughts.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we all do. We all do. But you know what? That's not intrusive. We are Father Podcast. Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Dr. Giovanni, and with me is my right hand, my main man,
Father Greg Lambert.
Hey, what's going on, man? Oh my gosh, yo, we are not intruding on it because you clicked on us. Mm-hmm. And if you clicked on us, that means you love us. And if you love us, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, that's 5. You see how easy that was? That's 5. I counted to 5. You can count to 5 too. You don't even need to count. You just have to look and use your eyeballs and go 5 stars.
Sweet.
All 5 are lit up. That's the beautiful thing about screens nowadays. We don't even got to guess. We don't even have to guess. And neither do you either, because now you have us and our smooth, crispy voices coming at you live from Spirit Stream Studios. And if you rock with us, go to catholicnotebook.org/F2F. That's catholicnotebook.org/father2father. And, you know, drop us a line. You know, hey, you got some hear me outs? Drop it for us. You got a comments? Drop it for us. You want to send us an email? Say like, hey, yo, I was listening to this thing and I don't understand this. Drop it for us. You want some advice? Send it to us and we'll talk about it on the show. You know, if it makes it to the show, it goes through screeners. Trust me, some of you, I'm just going to let you know this right now. I pray for you. I do. I really do. I pray for you. Some of you, I pray for you. Some of the emails we get, I sit there and I go, how did we get to this point? And some of you, I just go like, hey, thank you so much. Like, I appreciate the thoughts. I appreciate the warm wishes. I appreciate some of it. And others, you know who you are. Like, why you got to be so aggressive towards me? What have I done to you? What have I done? All I said was 5 stars. If 5 stars was too much for you, then okay, I guess. But I've just, you know, it is what it is. That's what it is. But you ready to get started, man?
Yeah, I mean, my emails are fine.
Your emails are always fine. Everyone loves you. Everyone always loves you.
Yeah.
Someone has to be the bad guy. I guess I'll be the bad guy.
There's a homily there somewhere.
I'll be the bad guy. It's like what is that? The Billie Eilish song? It's like
I can't sing it.
Don't you dare! I didn't clear that one, Billie.
I feel like she'd sue us.
She would sue the crap out of us. She doesn't even write her own songs. It's her brother.
Yo!
It's her brother that writes her music. She just sings it.
Yeah, she just sings it.
No,
it's kind of important.
No. She's very arrogant about like her music, but like 90% of the songs is written and produced by her brother.
I mean, she's pretty famous.
Yeah, okay. But take away 90% of that work and what you get.
I mean, they split that. They're chilling. They're a team.
I don't think. No, listen. We got to talk about this because I refuse. Shaq and Kobe, team.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I could put Shaq on the court and he could dominate. I put Kobe on the court, he could dominate. But put them both together, they got rings. They got rings. If they were a little less like chaotic, And, they let the egos die down. Because Shaq said this, like, he wished he would have, like, stopped his hot boy streak a little bit earlier, because then he would have got more rings. They said, like, easy, they could have racked up 10. He said, easy, racked up 10. If he would have just got his ego out of control and said, like, I'll calm down. That's a team. But if I could take out one person on the team and be like, yeah, you're done. It's not really a team. It's more of like a pay me.
I mean, that was Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Nah.
It totally was.
No. Scottie was all right.
Well, no.
Scottie was all right.
Yeah, but also, this was Michael Jordan's show. Like, he was running that team.
I would say Michael Jordan and Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman was a...
Without Dennis Rodman, you don't get 20 boards.
Well, yeah, I'm not arguing against that, but Dennis Rodman was definitely more of a tool than a body of the team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but you need Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
Like, I think Michael Jordan was like such a unique case where you have like one player and then the rest of the team was the other player.
Yeah. Because for that reason, you're right, but at the same time, because they had Scottie, they were very successful. Yes, and I will always say that. But they weren't Shaq and Kobe. Like, Shaq and Kobe were close friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael was, whoever's going to help me win this game will be my teammate.
To be fair,
I wouldn't call you a friend.
To be fair, I don't think anybody understood Michael.
Yeah.
Enough for them to be friends with Michael. Because if you look at it, like Tom Brady, Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
They became really close friends. They won a ring together.
Yeah.
And like it was just kind of like, why are they close friends? They seem to be like cut of two different colors, but like they understood each other. Like that push for excellence is one of those things that like how many people really understand when you're going for excellence? Because everyone wants to say they want to go for excellence until they actually have to go for excellence, and then all of a sudden, then it's like, I don't really want to do this no more because it's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's true. It's something that you got to live.
Yeah. But I mean, we can talk about it. You ready for the show?
Always.
All right, let's get started. That's a lot of sports talk for us.
Yeah, I mean, it happened.
Tell me, baby, what's the word on the street? Is it love or is it lies beneath our feet?
Okay, got a couple for you. Today I messed up. All right, cool. Today I messed up.
You just said it in pause, like you said it into the hallway. Today I messed up. You just waiting for the echo to come back. How'd you mess up?
Yo, because I read it, I was like, this bishop is old. Sorry. Today I messed up by replying, yes, sir, and then like the inhale emoji. Like, the inhale, like,
Okay.
to a bishop's text. I'm newly ordained and apparently one more year away from early retirement. So my buddy sent me a post-workout selfie. Nothing crazy. Just him flexing in a tank top, looking proud of his gains. I meant to text him back, yes, sir, with the inhale emoji, looking like Resurrection Sunday. As a joke. Power, risen Christ, Catholic gym bro. It is what it is. Except I sent it to the bishop. No follow-up, no clarification. Just vibes. He didn't respond right away. And when he did, all he said was, explain. And
show your work, son. Show your work.
I panicked. And I assured him it wasn't a gang reference or inhaling drugs or anything like that. It was just a inhale emoji type of thing. And so I Googled inhale emoji safe Catholic meanings explanations and sent him a screenshot of Urban Dictionary. I don't think it helped.
I wonder how many people are lying about the explanation of these emojis on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, eggplants are meant to be given for good health and good luck. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, like the water sprinkle emoji is just like, Eucharist Sunday, like water sprinkles.
Nope, no, it's not.
I don't think it helped. I still don't think he believes me. He's gone radio silence, and I'm scared to check if I've been reassigned.
I finally thought about one by the way.
Oh yeah.
Something I messed up on.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
This was this past Sunday.
Oh word.
Oh my gosh. So it was the first Sunday. It's Divine Mercy Sunday, right? Mm-hmm. So we got sprinkling, right?
Nice.
And so I got my big old bucket with my aspergillum. For those of you who don't know, that's the big metal like rod with the ball at the end. Mm. So you sprinkling everybody. I'm like, all right, perfect. We got a huge church, so I'm doing the whole thing. And I sprinkled the left side of the nave. I got the right side. All right, cool. Now I'm going to get to the main body, and I'm going through the main body. And this is how you know it's a Holy Spirit moment, because I'm using this aspergillum and I'm sprinkling people all the way over on the left side of the church. Then we get to the back of the church. There's like one or two, communion ministers that are back there. I'm like, hey, something I like to do is I'm not going to pass you up. Especially if you're sitting by yourself. I'm going to give you some water. So I take this aspergillum and I give him a good hard flick. And dog, tell me why the top ball of that aspergillum flew off. Like, projectile, dude. Projectile. It just snapped in half. And I was like, oh, shoot. Like, you heard me. You just broke. Oh, shoot. Like, I broke character hard. Because the dude had good reflexes, because he like moved his head at the right moment. It hit the glass behind. It didn't shatter the glass, but I've seen the inside of an aspergillum, which I didn't know. There's sponges on the inside.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
How do you think it like holds the water?
I have to assume that the water is going in, because there's little holes. There's not a lot of holes.
Yeah.
So the water is going in, and then it's escaping through like the other little holes.
Because of the sponge, and there's a mechanism to press the sponge every time you throw. Like that's
weird.
That's the whole point.
It would work just fine with just like the area holes.
But it won't though. Because as soon as you like lift it, the one time you do this, that's it. You're going to have to dip it again. You won't have repeats. They ain't no 4, 5, 6 repeats. It's just one good swipe. You won't have to do a full crowd with one good swipe. That's not good. Could you imagine?
Needless to say, I use my hand for the aspergillum for like the other half of the church. And then afterwards, homeboy comes up to me. He's like, Father, if you don't want me to come to mass anymore, you can just say that. I was like, bro, I'm sorry. I must have laughed until the gospel. Like, I was laughing a while.
Oh, goodness.
I'm happy I didn't hit him in the head with that aspergillum.
Yeah, that would have been. Oh, yeah, that is a good one. That is a good one. Whoo. On that, this is actually kind of funny. Hey, your name got auto-populated. This is great.
Oh?
The AI kind of auto-populated your name. That's kind of cool.
That's important to say that, because someone's going to listen to this like, Greg's out here doing the crazy stuff. I'm like,
No. Just so everybody knows, like we have a system, and so when someone sends in their thing, it runs it through through our AI system, and then it changes all the names to make sure it's whatever. And it's randomized names, and it hits like 1 million names. And so every once in a while, it'll hit your name or my name or whatever. So like, yeah, it happens. This time it's your name. Anyways, today I messed up by accidentally confessing to myself. I was ordained 12 years ago, and I try to keep things reverent. Last Thursday, I was doing back-to-back masses, a school visit, and a funeral. I was wiped out. I was sitting in the confessional, low lights. I was trying to collect myself, and I was waiting for someone to show up. I thought I was alone. I just wanted to clear my mind, and I leaned forward towards the screen and halfway muttered, "Bless me, Father, for I've sinned. I've struggled with late night snacking, and I'm jealous of Father Greg's hair. It's absurdly thick. He knows it." And then on the other side of the screen, I hear this office whisper, "Same." I jump back, and it turns out that someone slipped in and heard my midlife sugar crisis and me crying over my lack of hair in the confessional. I cleared my throat as let us begin. Oh man, I don't know what that's like.
That's why we always turn the light off.
No, I don't know what that's like to be like in the confessional, like you doing all that thing. But I know what it's like to like you've had 12 people in the day. You just ran through 12 people. Like I just taught, and then I saw 12 sessions, and then I'm like, I'm tired. and I don't really want to do anything, but I want someone to hear me. And so I whisper to myself, and I'm just like, it was rough, wasn't it? And like, you're not really wanting, I can't imagine someone whispering about like, yeah. You're like,
I don't know about you, but maybe it's because I'm paranoid. I'm hyper aware if there's someone in the confessional at all times. At all times.
I would imagine, like, you'd have to tell me, like, is it possible to, like, just be that spaced out where you were not aware that someone comes into the confessional, or, like...
I can totally see certain people doing it. That's never going to be me.
Okay.
And if that happens to me, I'm probably... I've fallen asleep.
Oh, okay.
That's only happened to me once. But I heard the door jiggle, and I was awake. I was like, all right. You ain't gonna catch me.
Yeah, you ain't gonna catch me slipping.
I'm alert.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right, last couple of ones. Today I messed up by wearing my alb backwards for the entire wedding. Oh. Last weekend, I was rushing between a hospital visit and a wedding rehearsal that started. I had 5 minutes of S. I threw on my alb and chasuble and everything and did a mirror check for the front only. I walked out, smiled like nothing was wrong. The ceremony went beautifully. Bride cried. Groom cried. I nailed the homily. Everyone said it was perfect. And then, while we were taking photos... a little kid looks up to me, looks up to their mom and says, "Hey, why does father look like a ghost emoji?"
Oh.
Yeah. And that was it. That's how he messed up.
Huh.
I'm like,
Most people won't notice.
Yeah, most people don't notice. Also, the kid saying like, "Why does father look like a ghost emoji?" I'm like, what? I
don't know.
I don't know. It is what it is. All right. Last one. Today I messed up for forgetting the tabernacle keys in my golf pants.
Oh.
I'm a pastor, 45 of a mid-sized parish. I like to get a quick 9 holes in early on Sunday mornings to clear my head. Don't recommend it. Last Sunday, I played a dawn round before 10:30 mass. Everything was going smoothly. Shot a 41. I don't care. Okay. And then until I thought everything was great until communion. I walked down to the tabernacle. There's no keys in the tabernacle. I patted myself down. No keys in my pocket. Patted my pants pocket. No keys in my pants pocket. I looked at the sacristan. He's shaking his head. No keys. And then I remembered golf pants. They're in my golf pants. Which were at home. 30 minutes away.
Yo, how far is your rectory, sir?
I immediately launched into liturgical delay as they got extra hosts from the back. A 15-minute stretch of extended intercessions, bonus hymns, and spontaneous mini reflections on the Eucharist.
Bonus hymns.
Eucharist reverence while the deacon sped to the back to get more host.
I'm trying to give him a deluxe edition homily. Here's the things you didn't think about. Here's the stuff that didn't make it into the homily because it wasn't good enough to make it into the homily. So now you're getting it now. I'm like, what are we doing?
Hey, yo, could you imagine if Father like he's getting ready and it's just like, we need to Father Greg, you can't celebrate it. Listen.
I love how he said he's a pastor because this is a pastor thing. This is I own the church. It's fine. No one's coming for me. It's fine. Like the buck stops for me. What's the issue?
Don't ask questions. Hey, Father Greg, we'll role play this. Father Greg, listen, the tabernacle's not open.
I see that.
The keys are in my pants. Not the one I'm wearing. Remember when we golfed this morning?
No, I don't remember because you didn't invite me.
Oh.
I'm just the associate.
Oh, yeah. No, that's right. We should invite you. Anyway, so they're at my house.
Oh.
So it'd be too much to ask you to go get him?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I thought I could try. Okay. So let's go in the back and ask the deacon to go get you go with the deacon in the back and go get the host and start consecrating a whole bunch of hosts in the back. All right. I'm just going to delay people out here. Good. Okay. Thank you. And so everybody, I was thinking about it. The gospel today was very good and it just spoke to me very well. And so here's some things that I've been thinking about.
Where's the other missile? Like, I can't believe this, dog. Like, you guys, listen, to everybody who's listening right now, you see me as a very loving, kind, and supportive individual, and I am. But I don't play about my church.
Yeah.
And so the look I'm going to give this man of, dog, are you serious? He ain't gonna look me back. He ain't gonna look me back.
No, there's no. The whole time I'm not looking you in the eye while we're role playing. Like, no, they ain't looking at me in the eye. Like, listen. Just go do it. Just take the deacon. Go in the back. We need like 500, like 6, maybe 1,000.
So many.
Like 1,000. Just take the 2 big bowls and just do it. All right,
it's like 200 a package. That's just 2.5 packages.
Take 5 packages. Just do it because we got another mass after this. Just do it.
Yo. And so when I asked about a contingency plan and what happens if we lose the keys, what then? Like, this is not going to be good, dog. Because we've had this conversation before. I'm starting to relive. I got PTSD.
Yes. Yo, before Father Greg has a heart attack, that was Today I Messed Up.
Hey, tell me, baby, what's the word on the street? Is it love or is it lies beneath our feet? I'm holding on, but the world feels incomplete.
Man, okay, this is that part of the show where I'm just like, yo, I'm tired. So you know what?
You and me both.
Listen, we started off the show and I was already at a point where I was like, so why don't you uplift my heart and take this theology moment and take a second, answer these questions real quick. This question pretty much comes from self-control. So this person sent in their question about, like, how do I manage my impulses, especially finding this balance between my desire and what the church teaches. Mm-hmm. So the context behind it, the writer was talking about how they were trying to set up certain rules for themselves about, like, this is what they should be doing, not be doing, everything like that. But then they found themselves just really focused on the rules and not focused on anything else. And it just evolved into them just engaging in their impulses more. And so they said, well, how do I find the balance here?
Yeah.
And so the question gets posed up to you, and take it away. Show theology moment. Hey, uplift me.
Well, it's a good question in the fact that I really enjoy the fact that they kind of, as charitably as I can say, outed themselves towards the end, because the way that question is phrased, it's phrased as if the church is it's the only institution that's giving restrictions, that what the church teaches is restriction alone. That's not necessarily true. The church teaches us that God wants us to be free, and that's what we were made to be. For example, a priest takes a vow of celibacy, right? But also a promise of obedience to make sure that we're always obedient and respectful. That's in there as well to our to the successor Peter, to our bishop, and all of his successors. Now, the hard part is that a lot of times people ask me, when I say people, I mean like people really close to me, they'll legitimately ask me the question, do you think that celibacy is hard? Is celibacy hard for you? And I give them the kind of same answer every single time. I mean, well, there's days that are easier than others, to be perfectly honest. I probably won't tell parishioners that, But I'll tell my friends and family that their days are easier than others, and that's the truth. But I think it's always going to be hard to be obedient. Obedience is freedom. In order to be obedient, one must be free to give of their own will. That's what it means. And if you're not free to give of your own will, then you're always going to be under control of something. You're not living free. The one who is free is the one who's able to give of themselves of everything. And I have given everything to the Lord. Now, the exhausting part is if you're trying to give everything to the Lord and then try to wrestle everything back for the rest of your life. That is going to run you. And you don't want that to run you. You don't want longing to run you. You want the truth to run you. All that is to say, desires are not a bad thing. Desires were given to you by God. You were meant to desire intimacy. You were meant to desire good companionship and friendship. You were meant to desire the good things of this life. Good things aren't a bad thing. Now, when you hear the word desire, especially when it comes into culture, a lot of times it's going to be described as something sinful. Oh, it's desirable. I desired her. Or that chocolate it's your wildest desire. The strawberries dipped in chocolate. It's just going to make you think it's some kind of dirty thing, but a desire is given to you by God. And the number one desire of every single human being, the most purest desire, the most highest good is God himself. And where sin comes into play is when we settle from the highest desire and go for something that's a little bit lower, either because it's easier, or we're tired of reaching, or we're upset or frustrated because we can't get to its highest desire. Right? Not right at this moment. So we settle. And so instead of going after the desire of intimacy, of realness, of a person who sees us, that wants us, that will pay attention to us, we might go right underneath that line and do pornography and masturbation. Because at least we feel something. At least it scratches the itch. At least it gets us over the line for the next couple hours, or the next couple days, or the next couple weeks until we fall again. All this is to say that God has given us our desires. And if we go towards the truest desire and we keep on pursuing that, we're going to end up exactly where we're supposed to be. But if we stop early, we're going to fall into a place we don't want to be.
Yeah, it's powerful stuff, man. Powerful stuff. Thank you.
Hope that was uplifting.
Yeah, no, it's getting me to think. All right, cool. So it's Hear Me Out. 5 stars, you did nothing wrong. 1 star, Father Greg got confessions on Thursdays. And you know what? We want to hear from you. If your church started doing confessions on Thursdays because of Hear Me Out, just let us know. Because we'd love to have like a rolling tally. I want to put up a map in here and then start putting pins every time we get like a notification of someone like somewhere in the United States or in the world where people are putting confessions on Thursdays.
Most likely.
I want this to be a movement. Confessions on Thursdays.
St. Athanasius in Mobile, Alabama.
Confessions on Thursday, and we gonna ring the bell like whatever it is, like Confessions on Thursdays. All right. But hear me out. I just wanted to see if we get along. That's all it says.
That sounds like stalker issues.
Hi, I'm Madison. I'm 21, and I just want to get this out the way. Yes, Father Greg, I have a pass. It's complicated.
Here we go.
Yo,
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Yo, oh, jeez. Yo. Okay. Our listeners are just like, listen. Let's get this out the way.
I respect the context.
Yeah. My roommate, Alyssa, is the opposite. Think
have a past.
Well, it goes on to explain. Think prayer, journaling, minivan energy, sweater vests,
On the Odyssey.
That type of thing.
But she was homeschooled.
Probably. I said, guys never stick around. She's like, I was venting one night to her, and I said, guys never stick around. I hook up, they leave. It's whatever. You're lucky. You have Drew. If I had Drew, I wouldn't have to worry if he'd call me back. She smiled, this soft look on her face, and she said, Drew's really not your type. I blinked, and I said, what do you mean? She said, I just mean you party and you engage in like different activities than we do. No judgment. It's just different. The way she said different made me feel like I was defective.
Oh, no.
Like, I'm fun.
Oh, no.
But I'm not worthy.
Oh, no.
I laughed it off that night,
But
I couldn't stop thinking about it. About the way she said it and how I couldn't land somebody like Drew.
so then she...
Chill. I'm just saying. She could, listen, you don't know how it's going to end. She could be a very, I don't know.
Okay. You're right. I don't know how it's going to end. Keep on reading.
I have. Please don't ruin my faith in you. Come on. Come on. Give me some hope. All right. So she says about how I could never land with someone like Drew. That I'm fun now, but not forever. And that when I decided, that's when I decided I wanted to see if Drew was my type. Fast forward, Alyssa got sick. I made her some cocoa. Dang it. Added NyQuil. Not a lot.
Wait, I'm sorry. Pause. For your safety, for the viewer's safety, the listeners, for you, Dr. Giovanni, for me, Father Gregory Lambert, I'm going to make sure that we make the public announcement that we do not condone the drugging of any individual in the past, in the present, or in the future.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do not do this.
Do not do it.
Don't do this. I added NyQuil.
I was right.
Not a lot, just enough to keep her down for the night. How would you? Okay,
you got to know how much that is.
Okay, this is not the first time she's done it.
It's not the first time.
If she knows that, that's
there's
not the
no
first
way.
time.
She could have given her enough to drop her like an elephant.
Right? It's like she fell asleep watching HGTV.
Same. Those bathrooms.
I left the light on to make it look like I was still there, and I slipped out to meet Drew at the bar. Turns out he's exactly my type. Soft-spoken, observant, funny, drinks, and it was neglected through loneliness. It was the first time someone had ever asked him how he felt in a relationship. And I was that somebody. We talked, we touched, and things escalated. Then it became routine. I would say I was going to shower, and then Drew would slip into my room after the lights out. He'd help me with homework, and and I'd end up sitting on his lap on the futon while Allison was off at her campus ministry meetings, talking about discernment and trust while I was living moments she didn't even know she'd lost. We started texting memes and code names. I was Golden Calf. Wait. No, my bad. No, my mind autocorrected. I'm sorry. My mind autocorrected. I said Golden Calf. It says Gold Calf. My bad. I was Gold Calf.
That's not better. That's the same thing.
Read this. Read this.
Oh, no.
It says I was Gold Calf because I'm worth gold. Young and a little worshipped.
That's not what that means. That's not what that means.
He was Exodus because when he was with me, he felt free.
That's not what that means. Oh, my chest.
You get it.
Sorry. Continue.
I wasn't sorry.
We know.
I was righting a wrong because that moment when she labeled me, she judged me, she boxed me in. Nah, that was the beginning. she decided I wasn't the kind of girl that was good enough for a guy like Drew. She thought I was messy, disposable. So when I left my t-shirt at Drew's place, he tried to cover and say that...
That's not messy?
He tried to cover and say that I went over for tennis and needed a shower and change. That wasn't a lie. I told her, yeah, that's why I was there. And she believed us. Or wanted to. I don't know. Things got weird for a while, but it was fine. At least until last week. I had a pregnancy scare. I didn't tell her who the guy was, obviously. And suddenly, my behavior, in quotation marks, made her uncomfortable. Said she didn't feel right with me spending time around Drew anymore. Then she did what girls like her always do when they start losing. She gave him an ultimatum: me or her. And he picked her. Of course he did. Because we were never official. Because she backed him into a corner and smiled while she did it. And I was furious. Not because he chose her, because she stole the man who was only ever happy when he was with me. I saw a version of Drew she'll never understand. I made him laugh. I made him free every time. She had the man of my dreams, and she made him miserable. I had him in stolen moments, and he was alive. I saw him, and I didn't let judgment stop me. But hear me out. I just wanted to see if we would get along. So I slipped some NyQuil into my roommate's cocoa so I could sneak out to see her boyfriend. You need a recap?
Need some NyQuil.
Don't put in your cocoa. All right, so you have Madison, you have Allison, you got Drew. Madison, 21, she's out there, and she preempted this by saying, "Yo, Father Greg, chill."
Because she knew. I clocked it from sentence number 2, dude.
She did. She's like, "Yo, chill, Father Greg. I get it, but it's not it." Anyways, she's sitting there like, "Listen, I got to pass, whatever." And she's lamenting to her girlfriend, like, she's like, "Hey, yo, these guys don't text me back. They don't do this. They don't do that. I don't get it." And then, Allison's like, "Yeah, what?" She's like, "Oh, you're so lucky you have Drew. If I had a guy like Drew, maybe my life would be great." Mm-hmm. And then she's like, "Drew's not your type." And she goes, "What?"
That was her being charitable, by the way. That she thought what she said was charitable.
Yeah. We'll get there. I'll do it. And she's like, "Drew's not your type." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "What?" And so she waited for a moment. Eventually she got sick. And she's like, "Yo, NyQuil in the cocoa." Which, again, we cannot stress enough. Do not do this.
Do not do this.
Do not do this.
Do not do this. Don't even try to measure and be like, "Oh, maybe I'll see if it works."
No.
Because you're going to get the measurements wrong. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it at all. And also, it is illegal.
Yes.
It is highly
drugging
illegal.
someone.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. So she did that. And then afterwards, after she did that, she met up with Drew. They talked, they hung out, and then things just escalated. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate the fact that she didn't go into like mad details. She left room and space.
Exactly.
Which is great.
So we don't gotta omit all the stuff and strike through everything and then try to read it.
Yeah. She's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "I'm going to shower," and then dude slip in his room, and like, there's this effectively this whole mess going on.
Yeah, you watch Netflix.
You watch Netflix. And then in my mind autocorrected, she had text messaging me. Her code name was Gold Calf. I said Golden Calf. My bad.
Which is continue.
Her sex name was Gold Calf. His sex name was Exodus. Mm-hmm. And then she said, "You get it." And I'm like, I don't think you do, but whatever. And then she left her t-shirt at Drew's house, apparently. Drew's place. And Drew's like, yo, she came over. She said she had to shower and she just left it there. She confirmed it. Homegirl confronted her. He's like, yeah, no, it was just a thing. And everything was fine. And then she's like, oh, shoot, I'm pregnant. And he's like, who's the dad? He's like, that's not your business. It's like, it is my business because you've been hanging out with my boyfriend way too much. And then she's like, yo, Drew, for real, pick me or her. Seriously. That's what Allison said. And then Drew's like, you're right. I pick you. And then they just went off to the sunset. And now she's kind of pissed. And she's just like, hey, yo, but what about me? And she's not even mad at Drew for making the decision she made. She even acknowledges, like, I'm not mad at him. I'm mad at her for coming back and trying to steal my man away from me because clearly she's not doing her job. And so she says, hear me out. I just want to see if we get along. So I'm going to leave you runway.
There's a lot there.
Yeah.
There's a lot there.
Full disclosure for everybody. Before we started, I told Father Graham, I'm like, hey, yo, this came in. This is fresh. I didn't even see it yet. All I heard was certain buzzwords in here. I'm like, oh. So, go ahead.
All right. So first and foremost, just for a warm-up, right?
Yeah.
The whole Exodus and golden calf reference, because I'm not going to let this go. I'm not going to let this go because it's too perfect. Like it is. So the way that story goes is because the people were in a mass exodus and crossing the desert to go to the promised land, the place where God had promised them to be, the land flowing with milk and honey. That's what they wanted.
Yep.
However, they were getting tired of walking around in the desert because
waiting.
It's like, yeah, it's going to be like what? A couple days journey, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then years go by, 40 years. People start getting tired of like, hey, Moses don't know where he's going. I'm sick and tired of this. Like what God promised. Well, God ain't here right now. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a golden calf and start worshiping to the other gods. And it's like it starts real slow and it happens all at once. All of a sudden, people are worshiping something else. Now, remind you, they were in slavery. They didn't have gold. So where the gold came from was what Egypt gave them as they got released. That gold was supposed to be for them to build altars or to build things to glorify God in the promised land. That was supposed to be what was for the future. There was a promise of hope. And they took their promise of hope and they built a false god and worshipped it. And then God punished them for worshiping the golden calf. So for anyone in this situation to be the other person outside of the relationship that is not only intruding on the relationship, but knowingly and willingly willing to test the other individual, not for the other individual's sake, but for the unfortunate, and I really do mean unfortunate, lack of acknowledgement and confidence of themselves. That's where that's coming from. There is an insecurity, as she said in the very beginning, of that she's dated before. Yes, she's had a past. And I'm not judging you for your past. This isn't me judging you for your past. I'm just talking about the golden calf thing. But what I am saying...
Come for him. Come for him.
What I am saying is I acknowledge that you got wounds. And I acknowledge that you've made mistakes. And I acknowledge that you've lived and you've gone in a certain direction. Yeah. And I'm not telling you that you don't deserve love. That's not what I'm telling you. I have the utmost respect for you as an individual, but I am saying that this idea and attitude that I need to go ahead and prove that I'm good enough for who my friend says is good. And I'm good enough for companionship, period. And I can take any other person's, and just to prove to that person and also to myself that I'm worthy of companionship, the proving doesn't come from them. It simply won't. If the proving comes from somebody else, you're always going to be chasing after someone else. Now, let me just go ahead and say also for this part, your friend, because she's not safe on this either, she has a bit of pride about her. And I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but there's a really good chance that because of your past and because of your bad experiences, there is a part of her, and I'm not saying that she's a horrible person, but there is a part of her that does relish of the fact that she's making better choices than you did, because that validates her.
Yeah, the optics are better.
The optics are better.
Yeah.
And I tell people this all the time in confession when they say, oh, I have a problem with judging people. Most of the time, judging comes from an idea that I want to feel validated by doing the decisions that are hard for me, like saying Chase.
Pause.
Yeah.
Is there, because I always have this issue, because it's not like we don't judge, because we have to judge people.
Yes,
we
of course.
have to evaluate people, because that's what it is. Like, I'm evaluating you.
Yes.
Is there another word that people are actually saying when they're like, yo, I don't want to judge people? Because it's not talking about like actually like judging people.
Yeah.
Is there like an ecclesiastical word, or is there like a concept within the faith that is just like, yo, this is actually what you're saying when you're talking about that? Because it's not judging, it's this.
Well, you're right, and that's a good question. They're not talking particularly about judgment. They're looking at another person and they're speaking about belittlement. I don't want to look down on someone, and I don't want to feel like I'm looking down on someone. But sometimes people are looking down on someone and they just don't want to feel like they're looking down on them. They don't want to be the person that looks down on people because they know what that feels like.
Yeah.
But they are doing it. That's what that is. But when we talk about judgment, you have to use your judgment in order to make a good or bad decision. That also has to do with people sometimes. How many times are you walking down the street at nighttime by yourself to your car and you see someone who looks kind of shady, and even if they're not shady, even if they're just, I don't know, a very happy, friendly, warm person, but from a distance you look at them and you say, I don't know. I'm all alone out here. I don't got no mace. I don't got no nothing. I'm going to keep to myself. I'm going to cross the street. I'm just going to get to my car and lock the door.
And
that's a judgment.
And you know what? It's not even a race thing.
It's not even a race thing.
Because,
it's a safety thing.
Yeah, because like you get that feeling. If I'm in a bad neighborhood,
Yeah.
I don't care who's outside. If they are in a hoodie and I can't see their hands, I am head down, keep moving.
Yeah.
Until I get to my car, lock the doors, and just get out as quick as I can.
Exactly.
But if I'm in a really wealthy neighborhood, they could be in a sweatshirt and hoodie and whatever. It's like, hey, how's it going, neighbor? I'm like, hey, what's up? Like,
That's true.
It's a different environment.
That's true. So all that is to say is that, hey, you know what? I love you. I respect you. But your understanding of yourself and what you deserve from these relationships, that has to be sorted out first. That has to be sorted out first, because this situation, unfortunately, is going to keep on happening if you're looking for the validation of someone else and whether or not you deserve love and companionship. You do. You do. You certainly do. And I'm sorry that I had to go this far. And I just want to let you know you have nothing to prove to anybody. Continue to make the right decisions, the good decisions that are good for people around you, but also particularly for yourself, and continue to grow and be cultivated. You don't have to feel like you're being looked down by anybody, and you don't deserve to be looked down and said that you're small.
I think this is going to be the first time that I say this about it. Hear me out.
Yeah.
Everybody sucks in this situation.
Yeah.
Like, everyone sucks in this situation.
No, I feel that.
Because, first of all, like, here's my thing. Madison's sitting there, and she, like, I always have this problem with venting, right? Because, like, venting doesn't really, if you're going to vent to somebody, like, the idea of venting that people have in their mind is that when you vent, you are letting out emotion, you're letting things out, and it's supposed to go somewhere purposeful. And it's like, well, where's it going? And unless the person who is receiving it knows how to redirect that into something, it's just going out into space.
Yeah.
And that's not always great. And so it's like, well, you're venting. All right, fine. I'll grant you that. And you say, you know what? I wish I had. And she straight up says, like, yo, you're lucky. You have Drew. I wish I had a guy like Drew. And at that moment, if you're Allison, pick your battles.
Yeah.
Pick your battles.
You could have said, yeah, I'm really lucky. He's a great guy. And then just kept it pushing.
And just kept it pushing. But because she had spent that entire time telling you about all this stuff, and you're just like, nope, I want to shut this down today. You can't have him.
Who was to say that she wanted
Right.
She was just her life.
And that's the thing. And so, like, people pretend as though things happen in a vacuum, where it's like, oh, well, I can say this and then nothing's going to happen from it. It's like, no, you say that, and now this person's going to take that information. Because immediately you take that and you go, oh, word? Well, why can't I have it? Like, why can't I have a guy like Drew? And now it's no longer about, hey, I'm lamenting about the fact, because effectively she was lamenting. She was like, I'm lamenting about the fact that I can't, for whatever reason, I can't figure out why it is that I'm running into the same situation over and over again. And Allison's in a position to be like, hey, this is what I've seen. to kind of help her out if she's actually seen something, or hey, when you've said this is what I've heard from you, and this is like the 4th time you've said this, so like maybe it's this. Or hey, listen, I have no idea how to help you in this situation. Maybe you should talk to somebody who could help you in this situation.
Yeah.
I know a couple people down in campus ministry that focus on this stuff. Or hey, I know the camp counselor. Like maybe that could be something that we can go together, and so you feel a little bit more comfortable. There's so many different ways to like diffuse the situation outside of hey, you can't have my boyfriend, because effectively that's what she was saying. And then so Madison then takes that and goes, oh, word, I can't have your boyfriend? Let's figure out whether or not he's my type. And then this discussion now goes into whether or not they're type. Okay, fine. So she goes down and she figures out whether or not he's her type. Right?
Yeah, but to be perfectly honest, when she said that, this whole thing wasn't about whether or not he's actually her type.
Yeah.
She's talking about all her past relationships. And if you explain exactly her description, her description does not scream she's had a million relationships.
But the thing is, she was looking for whether or not he would go after her.
Yes.
Because Allison was so hell-bent on saying, our relationship is so strong, you can't do anything. And she said, bet. And I've been in that position before. And I know exactly what that feels like. When someone sits there and tells you, hey, there's no way you can take my girl. And I'm like, dude, I didn't even want your girl. So, but you know what? Now I'm really interested to see what is it about you that you feel so secure that you had to come to me and be like, hey, you can't take my girl. You can't take my girl. I'm like, dude, what is your problem? Like, what is your issue? And so, like, I've been in that spot where I'm just sitting there going, like, all right, fine.
And that's judgment.
Yeah.
That is a belittling of someone.
Yeah. Which is, I'm like, dude, all right, whatever. But here's where things get off the rail for me. Homeboy didn't have to... like, dog, all right, listen, I get it. Because she mentions like, oh, yo, it was he says like, it's the first time someone ever asked like how he was doing. So it's like, she realized, oh shoot, it's really not that great of a relationship.
Yeah, no.
And he's actually getting attention, which is something he wasn't getting before. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. But then homeboy was just like, he's just like, yo, are we doing this? We doing this? And then he started calling her Gold Calf, and I was like, dog.
Obviously, we haven't been going to Bible studies. Dog. That's not a good name.
And she, like, and the fact that it doesn't dawn on her, she's like, yeah, because I'm worth gold. I'm young, and yeah, a little worshipped. And I'm like,
you're the other thing. You're the person outside of God. You're the other God.
Yeah.
And there's going to be retribution and punishment.
Yeah, and the fact that he's wandering in the desert like Exodus, like I'm just like, dude.
And God sends snakes right after this.
But you know what? At the end of the day, they all make a decision. So this is where I sit. What's your rating? I think everybody sucks in this situation.
No,
everybody
right.
sucks.
Everybody sucks, and honestly, I don't give all the blame on her. Most of this is her fault because her actions are her own.
Oh yeah,
and she owns her actions. She knows exactly what she did.
She does. She's like, yo, is it my bad that I wanted to see whether or not we're compatible? Like. And I'm just like, I mean, the NyQuil is a little bit too far. It's a little bit too far. Which, low key, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt there. Whereas, like, yo, she asked for NyQuil and then she just dumped it into the cocoa rather than just giving it to her separately. I'm going to give her the listen, for legal purposes, I'm just going to give her the benefit of the doubt.
I guess.
Like, that's it. All right. Go ahead.
All right. So, in that case, given the severity of the situation and the drugging of somebody. But also that there's real pain behind this story.
Yeah.
That hasn't been dealt with yet and that still needs to be dealt with.
Yeah.
I cannot say with any definitive proof that what she was doing was so malicious. Intent was malicious in the fact that I'm doing this to specifically hurt you. She was doing this to prove something to herself.
Okay. Okay. I mean, if you want to go there, that's fine. That's fine.
I'm a man of mercy.
You are a man of mercy, and you also clearly have never had a past. But okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna give her 2 stars.
You gonna give her 2 stars?
Yeah.
All right.
That's as high as I can go on this.
All right. That's fair. That's fair. You know what? I'm gonna give her 2 stars as well. Not because like, oh, she didn't do it with millions. No. She was.
No, she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing.
She knew exactly what she was doing. My reason for giving her 2 stars simply has to go to the fact that she truly started to fall in love. And like she like at a certain point, she recognized like these are the qualities that I'm actually looking for. Mm-hmm. And she started to have a little bit of self-awareness in the midst of all of this. And so like so I'm looking at it from the standpoint of a clinician and I'm like, hey, if you came into my office and you told me this, I'm like, okay, cool. So then what did you learn? And he's like, yeah, these are the things I like in a guy. It's like, yeah, this is what you're telling me, that these are qualities that you like in a guy. So what other guys have these qualities that you can chase after? And so it becomes a launching point for self-discovery. So she has some room to go up. Outside of that, I really can't do much, unless we have another detail. I don't. But if you want to, appeal, you can. You can. So what do you think? Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? This one was messy.
She said, I don't want to be messy, but they found my shirt at his place. How is that not like immediately after? That's incredibly messy. That's the most messiness. I can't.
Listen. Bounty, quicker picker upper, cleans up a lot of messes. But it won't clean this up. But hear me out. Hear me out.
Oh.
Do you need a second?
And then I drugged her.
Yo, Father Greg, Dr. G, what's good? I know it sounds clear, I know it's misunderstood. The story's wild, yes, out there, no doubt. But just lean in close, just hear me out. Hear me out. Give me time, let me speak, no doubt. The truth's in my words, the real's will shout.
Oh, man, that was a great show, wasn't it?
Always.
Oh, man, yeah. Well, for all of us here at Father, Spiritual News Studios, and the greater Catholic Noble family, we love you. You're very special.
Go forth and bear good fruit.
We out.
Father to Father is a production of Spirit Stream Studios. All rights reserved.